and hopefully we'll see over time how he develops into the role. But as regards to Hardik, he's still a very important player for us, and that's what we want him to be, that player that he can be, because those sorts of skill sets are very difficult to find what he has. Fitness obviously has been a challenge for him over the last few years, and then it becomes a little bit more difficult for, say, a coach or even us as selectors when you're trying to. Now we've got a bit more time till the next T20 World Cup where we can look at a few things. It's not rushed at the moment, and we want him to be, as like I said, he's an important player for us, and hopefully his performances are more important, and that was the thought behind it. Yeah, the fitness is a clear challenge, and we want someone who's likely to be available more often than not. And look, again, after saying all that, we think Surya's got the necessary necessary qualities that you need to succeed as a captain.
In your tenure in this selection, two vice captains have been superseded. Hardik obviously and KL Rahul. Is it not the logical succession plan has not happened? Can you explain? And Gautam, welcome.
Thank you.
The best. And anything you tell me about your approach that is going to be as a coach?
You want to answer the first one?
Yeah, I wasn't there when KL was superseded, so it wasn't me. No, I wasn't selected then, firstly. And I just explained the reasons behind what we're looking at. We've got a little bit more time now since I've come, there's been a 50-over World Cup, almost followed by the T20 World Cup at that point. We've seen, and like I said, fitness is a concern. Not just that, we also feel that Surya has the necessary qualities to be a good captain. Hopefully, we see that over time. 2 years is a long time, so at least it gives us a bit more of a chance to try and look at some things differently. And the main thing is we want guys who are available all the time here. And in this way, we also feel we can manage Hardik a little bit better. Because like I said, he's an important player for us. We've seen even in this World Cup, and his performances both with the bat and the ball are important. And that is more important to the team than anything else. Yeah. So, yeah, we speak to every player. Yeah, he's been part of the team anyway. It's not like he's been left out. So, no, we speak to every player, if their roles are changed, and he's been spoken to.
Look, from my point of view, pretty simple. I think important is to give players the freedom. I think that's what I absolutely believe in, and not have a relationship which is of a head coach and a player. I think for me, the best relationship is a relationship which is built on trust, and that is going to be very important. I can promise guys that I think the most important thing for me is that they will always have my back. And I've always said that a happy dressing room is a winning dressing room, and happy and secure dressing room. So that's my responsibility, alongside the entire support staff, to make it a happy and a secure dressing room. And that's about it. I think for me, I don't complicate too many things, and neither do I want to complicate, because one thing we need to be clear that I think I'm taking over a very, very successful team. A T20 World Champion, I think runner-ups in World Test Championship and runner-ups in 50-over World Cup. So it's not that it's not a successful team. So yes, I think it's big shoes to fill, but then looking forward to it.
Gautam, can you tell us about your working relationship with the BCCI Secretary, Jay Shah? How did this entire appointment came into being? Can you explain us?
No, I think I've got a fabulous relationship with him. Mr. Jay Shah, I think we go a long way back, and all these speculations about different things, we've been on different pages. All this, I think we can do a better job from probably clarifying those things rather than putting it in the press, because we go a long way back, and so far I think it's been a great relationship. Hopefully it continues that way, because the betterment of Indian cricket is more important. Gautam Gambhir is not important. I think if all of us have our heart in the right place, and if we all of us think that Indian cricket needs to move forward, for that I think all of us are on the same page. So really enjoyed so far working with him, and hopefully I can continue the same in future as well.
Either of you can answer it or both. As players, both of you suffered from selectorial apathy at times and bounced back magnificently. In this case, players like Sanju, Abhishek and Rutu being omitted from certain spots. were they spoken to, and how would you put an arm around their shoulder, and because they would obviously feel a little bit hard done by.
I mean, every player who's left out feels hard done by. Our challenge is to pick only 15 to try and get the best balance possible. So someone's likely to miss out. Sometimes they've had some decent performances in recent times, but you've got to see who's picked ahead of them. I mean, are those guys not deserving of their place? If that's the thing, then there is things to discuss. But at this stage, I mean, we had an opportunity to give some of those guys, a go in the Zimbabwe series, which was good. So we have enough depth. If tomorrow there's loss of form from the players that are playing or there are injuries, but it's tough. I think Rinku, for no fault of his, missed out from the World Cup. It's an example. He had a terrific T20 leading up to the World Cup, but it's sometimes just the way it goes. Unfortunately for us as well, it's difficult to fit everyone in the 15. And as tough as it is for the player, that's generally a life of a player. Yeah? That's why when you get an opportunity, you try and put up performances. So as soon as somebody who's ahead of you is not quite up to the mark or there's an injury there, you're ready to pick. And you could take a lot of names. You've taken 3 names, but there are a lot of names, and it's tough on them. But that's just the reality. Yeah? We can only pick 15.
What about Ravindra Jadeja in 48? Is he not going to be the part again, or his best?
Yeah, I think it would have been really, pointless to take both him and Akshar for this short series. We know what Jaddu's done. He's had a terrific World Cup, 50-over World Cup. So, no, not at all dropped. I think all options are open, but either of them wouldn't have played all 3 games if we'd taken both. That was the thing. There's a big test season coming up where he's likely to feature in a lot of the tests out of that. So, I don't think 3 games would have mattered. I think we probably should have clarified that after the selection that he's not been dropped. He's still within the scheme of things and very important as a player.
We'll move questions on this side there.
I have a question for each of you. Gautam, you mentioned that you're taking over as a successful team. The fact that in the next less than 12 months now, you're going to play 10 important test matches and the Champions Trophy. How do you balance it out while starting your stint, considering the challenges that are lying?
That would have always been a challenge, because when you take over in all the 3 formats, and more importantly, that after the Sri Lanka tour, we got a long break, we got a month break, and then we've got 10 test matches. I think that's not bad, because then you're playing continuously those 10 test matches with big tour of Australia coming up as well. But then again, I think that is what challenge is all about, and more importantly, really excited about it, and hopefully we can do really well in those 10 test matches. And the chairman has already said it that some of the players who did miss out on this tour to Sri Lanka, because there are 10 test matches and someone like Ravindra Jadeja is very important for all those 10 test matches. So yes, I think really looking forward to all those 10 test matches.
You mentioned the reasons for looking beyond Hardik as T20 captain. You were not around personally when he was handed over the charge, but some of the members were former. So in that sense, was it a unanimous decision to kind of look at other options, and what signal does it send to a larger picture that you can't really take it for granted as a player?
Yeah, I don't think any player takes it for granted anyway. Every time you try and play, your place is on the line, you want to perform. These discussions don't happen overnight. We sort of discussed them through the last few months, leading up to the World Cup as well. So, these chats had happened before as well, and it's not an overnight thing where you just decide that someone should be captain or shouldn't be captain. There's obviously a lot of thought goes in. You get a lot of feedback from the dressing room as well. What sort of qualities that you're looking for, and the biggest thing is the captain should be on the park more often than not. That's a prerequisite really.